We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away. She said it was because of her parents, and she was like joking about it, and she was like happy, like joking like she always was, and like it didn't seem real because like she was like playing around, joking about it. And the next day she wasn't at school, and like that's the last time I saw her.
When I saw her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, that they were like blackmailing him, all of this stuff. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
I didn't do it. That body was placed in there by somebody else. And this home life situation, very chaotic, one that she wanted to get away from, along with the ex-boyfriend's testimony, creates a plausible theory that potentially her parents had something to do with that. And when you think about it, it's just horrific to even contemplate. But what we know, having done this for years, is it's not outside the realm of possibility. So when you hear it, it sounds absurd, but when you look at it from a beyond a reasonable doubt standpoint, it becomes more and more plausible.
September 30th, 2025 massive updates in the case that's had the internet buzzing. Earlier this month, Elaid cracked open a Tesla's frunk in an LA impound lot, uncovering tragic proof of a teen missing for 17 months. The car, registered to breakout star David, the artist behind billions of streams. Online sleuths now claim his lyrics hid chilling Easter eggs for years of obsession, jealousy, violence dropping on her birthdays. And as this unfolded, he was onstage performing. Fresh autopsy reports shut down pregnancy rumors, while raids on his home seized evidence that could blow the case wide open. Viewer discretion, this story's only getting darker. It all kicked off back in December 2021 when David, going by David, dropped his first track, Runaway, on YouTube. You know, he's just a 16-year-old kid at this point, coming from Fortnite montages and dodging copyright strikes by making his own beats, inspired by folks like Sextentation and Tyler, the Creator. Right away, the vibes are heavy. It's this story of chasing someone you love, feeling crushed when they pull away, and that sadness flipping into straight-up rage and jealousy. Lines like begging them to come live with you, fearing they're running off, and bowling over into aggression. It's like the blueprint for everything that follows. Fast forward to February 2022, and he's got this song where the lyrics hit different now. I look into your eyes and I can see right through your lies. I think we both know who dies here. You can't leave the past behind. You're the only one that lies here. Chilling, right? Then March rolls in with, Save Your Tears 7 years. Repeating in the chorus. Remember, Celeste was born September 7, 2010, so early 22, she's 11, exactly 7 years from turning 18, while David's 17. No one clocked it back then, but hindsight makes it eerie. By the next tracks, it's escalating. More than just friends. Straight up warns, I told you keep it 10 or you'll end up dead. Over the following 8 songs, he's obsessing jealous frenzies, hundreds of messages, lines like trying to kill you slowly and, we're gonna die tonight. It's that emo rap style. Sure, but the specifics feel too pointed, especially tied to his tweets about someone pushing through family issues. Then boom. Romantic Homicide, in September 2022, dropped right on Celeste's birthday. The video's got ritual vibes. David blindfolded amid candles, standing over what looks like a dead girl, then hiding evidence in a suitcase. Lyrics keep the theme of killing the one you love. This blows him up from underground to Juice WRLD levels. 2023 amps it up. The Rehab Anim video, again on her birthday, shows his character butchering a female figure into pieces. Around then, a leaked track called Celeste surfaces for the first time. He names her outright, with lyrics about her opening up only when high and tattooing his name on her chest. Into 2024, Drink and Drive leaks with lines like, Are you still under the car? Stay with me. I know it's my fault. Oh God, I'm here. She didn't deserve to go. I'll be crying in this jail cell tonight. Eerily prophetic, considering the Tesla trunk discovery. By 2025, One More Dance video has him stuffed in a car trunk, dragged to the woods, and buried, mirroring the end. Lyrics get ominous. Hey, might have you, but I've got your ghost. Eyes looking right through me. Why can't I hear your heartbeat? Dance with me under the moon above. That ghost stuff echoes serial killers keeping victims' spirits, like Dahmer. Plus red strings everywhere, nodding to Dexter's dismembering killer, and blood moon ties. Celeste's 2025 birthday was a blood moon. Throughout, foreshadowings blatant. Ritual scenes, roses symbolizing blood-drained bodies, shovels for burial, devil references, aggression when she tries leaving. Girls in videos always resemble Celeste wavy black hair, young look and releases time to her birthday. It's like he was confessing in plain sight, blending love with violence, all while his career skyrocketed. Wild how no one connected the dots sooner. September 30th, 2025 massive update the case that's had the internet buzzing. Earlier this month, LAPD cracked open a Tesla's frunk in an LA impound lot, uncovering tragic proof of a teen missing for 17 months. The car, registered to breakout star David, the artist behind billions of streams. Online sleuths now claim his lyrics hid chilling Easter eggs for years of obsession, jealousy, violence dropping on her birthdays. And as this unfolded, he was onstage performing. Fresh autopsy reports shut down pregnancy rumors, while raids on his home seized evidence that could blow the case wide open. Viewer discretion, this story's only getting darker. Diving deeper into the foreshadowing, it's like David was leaving a trail of breadcrumbs that nobody picked up until it was too late, and man, some of these details are straight up haunting when you line them up with what happened to Celeste. Take his track, 2016, for starters. In the lyrics, he drops this line: "You wouldn't believe what I did as a kid back in 2016. Back then, David was just 11 years old, the same age Celeste was when he allegedly started targeting her. It's vague on the surface, like he's reminiscing about some dumb kid stuff, but given his history of blending real-life obsessions into his music, it screams like a hint at early dark behavior, maybe something that set the stage for later." And get this, in another song he circles back to November 2016 specifically, tying it to some unspoken event. No public record of any crime from him that year, but it's got folks wondering if this was his first confession in code. Then there's that April 2025 interview where he's breaking down romantic homicide. He straight up admits he made up these scenarios of getting heartbroken and being in love and stuff like that.
I wanted to be involved in this or have a heartbreak for myself, so I kind of just like made up these scenarios of myself getting heartbroken and being in love and stuff like that. And I would write songs about things that never happened. And that would just become my life.
Now it's all happening.
4 years, man. Yeah.
From his middle school days, around 2016 again, he talks about wanting to feel what other kids were feeling, like relationships and heartbreak, even though he didn't have any real ones. But twist it with the timeline, Celeste was 11 when their paths crossed, mirroring that age. It feels less like fiction and more like him projecting some deep-seated fixation, maybe even justifying grooming as love in his twisted narratives, chilling how he frames it as imagination, but the patterns suggest it was pulling from something real. The Rehab anime video from 2023 dropped on Celeste's birthday, and it's got his character literally dismembering a female figure, cutting her into pieces. Fast forward to her remains being found chopped up in that Tesla trunk, and it's an exact match. No coincidence, it's like he was visualizing the endgame years ahead. His 2025 stuff ramps it up even more. In an unreleased snippet from March, lines like "Nobody ever caught me, but I spoke too soon in the back of a police car. I ain't telling nothing. Do the same if they ask you about her." It's brazen, almost taunting authorities. Then, one more dance, with "He might have you, but I've got your ghost. Eyes looking right through me. Why can't I hear your heartbeat? Dance with me under the moon above." That ghost motive. Pure serial killer vibes. Think Jeffrey Dahmer or Ed Kemper, who saw killing as a way to keep victims as eternal spirit wives or romantic possessions. David's documented gore addiction makes it fit like a glove. Don't sleep on the invisible string theory. Interlude from his album. It's this spoken bit about fate tying people together with an invisible string. But visually, red strings pop up in videos and cover art, straight inspired by Dexter's Brian Moser, the ice truck killer who dismembered victims and strung him back with red string. Tie that to the blood moon motif. Celeste's 2025 birthday fell on a real blood moon, and his ritualistic video scenes, candles, blindfolds, moons scream symbolic sacrifice. Her discovery right after, eerily timed. It's all foreshadowing on steroids, like he was scripting her fate in his art, blending love, death, and true crime obsessions into one sick playlist. Makes you rethink every lyric, doesn't it? But let's pivot from those lyrics that feel like coded warnings to the raw, unfiltered visuals that hit even harder now. Clips and performances that weren't just art, but almost like snapshots of the nightmare unfolding in real time. Take this Nest Cam footage that's been making waves, captured on September 8, 2024, just one day after Celeste's 14th birthday. It shows her right there in Lake Elsinore, California, going off on neighbors from her parents' porch. She's screaming about some kid ding-dong ditching the house, dropping F-bombs left and right. And yeah, there's some ugly racial slurs mixed in that of folks cringing. Dressed in a black hoodie and white pants, she looks every bit the stressed-out teen lashing out, but the kicker. This drops months a second missing report in April 2024, proving she was back home, or at least nearby, way longer than anyone let on. TMZ finally aired it on September 29, 2025, and it's got everyone side-eyeing the family. Why no follow-up on this sighting? Did they know she was dipping in and out, maybe still tangled up with David. It's that kind of loose end that screams dysfunction, making you wonder how deep the silence ran. Then rewind to February 2023, when David unleashes this music video for One More Dance. Not one of his big hits, but damn if it doesn't feel prophetic in hindsight. There he is, playing a shrunken down version of himself, all curled up like a discarded doll, getting shoved into the back of a car trunk before being hauled off to some foggy woods for a shallow grave. The staging's low-key theatrical, with dim lights and that eerie silence broken only by the creak of the lid slamming shut. Fans brushed it off as moody aesthetics back then, but connected the dots to Celeste's end in his Tesla frunk, and it's like he rehearsed the whole damn scene. No blood, no gore, just this quiet resignation that mirrors the starved, broken state she was found in, weighing barely 71 pounds. It's the kind of subtle horror that sticks with you, especially knowing his obsession with true crime tropes was already bubbling under the surface. Fast forward to the night it all cracked open. September 8, 2025, the exact day her discovery hits the wires, and David's onstage in Maryland, mid-tour, owning the crowd like nothing's wrong. But fans shot clips that surfaced later. They're loaded with these weird, lingering gestures. He's throwing heart shapes toward the balcony behind him, locking eyes with this girl in a tube top, who some swear looks just like Celeste, wavy hair and all. She's up there, swaying, but the crowd's too hyped to notice. Was it her, slipping into his orbit one last time? Unconfirmed store, but the timing's too perfect, especially with reports of him dragging a prop casket onstage during the set, like he's mocking the grave he helped dig. It's that brazen energy, performing Ghost anthems while the truth festers in his impound lot back in LA. And if that's not enough to make your skin crawl, check the fresh YouTube breakdown drop today, September 30, 2025. It's a deep dive body language analysis of that deleted Twitch stream from 2024, the one where Celeste's in the background, all hooded and giggly. The creator zooms in on David's micro expressions, the way his shoulders tense when she laughs at someone else's joke, his fingers drumming like he's holding back, and those forced smiles that scream possession. Media trained you, he quips, but the exit classic coercive control subtle power plays, like cutting her off mid-sentence or steering the chat away from kids talk. It's not just awkward, it's a red flag parade, painting their dynamic as way darker than the cute couple vibe he sold. These aren't isolated clips anymore, they weave right into the obsession narrative, showing how the grooming bled from screen to stage, leaving us all questioning what else he hid in plain sight. And man, that sparked this underground wave of folks replaying his discography like detectives on a cold case, hunting what they're calling a breadcrumb trail. Those subtle, stomach-turning hints scattered through lyrics and visuals that line up way too neatly with Celeste's story. Picture this, romantic homicide. Doesn't just drop, it lands square on her birthday in 2022. With that video's suitcase hideaway and ritual glow feeling less like edgy art and more like a blueprint. Fans couldn't unsee it, zooming in on every frame, every bar, debating how the obsession threads wove right into her vanishing acts. Or that old repost he shared ages ago, a clip of someone slicing meat, captioned with a jealous snap like, "Me if I see her talk with other dudes." Back then, it passed as dark humor, the kind that fits his vibe, but now, it slams home with the dismembered state she was found in. That calculated choppiness turning a throwaway meme into something forensic. At its core, though, this wasn't random flair. David's sound was a mirror to his unraveling, soaked in that gore fixation he owned up to in chats, where he'd ramble about live leak marathons and cartel clips numbing him out by 14. It bred this delusion, you see, where romantic homicide wasn't metaphor, it was the endgame, a twisted forever bond straight out of true crime binges. He'd romanticize the kill as intimacy, keeping the ghost close, like those killers he low-key idolized, echoes of eternal possession in every haunting hook. His tracks didn't just foreshadow, they fed the cycle, blending heartbreak hooks with shovel digs and bloodless roses, aggression spiking whenever she tried to bolt. Ironically, 2025 was supposed to be his peak, the year everything aligned. Fortnite anthem drops tying back to his gamer roots, cameos in massives like Invincible and Arcane beaming his beats to millions, collabs stacking like trophies. Songs charting, views exploding. He was untouchable, living the dream. But flip the calendar, and it's the same stretch where the nightmare peaked, her final months fading into that trunk under the LA sun. Success and sickness intertwined, his art a confessional booth he never meant to fill. Now, with the pulls and the pauses, it's like the music's paused mid-note, waiting for the gavel or whatever comes next. Makes you rethink not just the tunes, but how deep the rot ran beneath the beats. Let's rewind to 2022, when David's online trail starts getting weirdly personal, like he's venting in code to an audience that doesn't know the half of it. There's this tweet from early that year where he's replying to a user handle, 6key4te, sounds a lot like a play on Kate. But folks are linking it to Celeste now, with him dropping lines about pushing through tough spots, like wanting to reunite with your mom and sister, but circumstances blocking the way. Take me where I belong, but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We gotta push through it, bro. It's vague enough to pass as motivational, but archived snapshots show the original post was someone venting about feeling trapped in a bad situation, heavy on family polls. No one batted an eye then, but with Celeste's age and her Lake Elsinore roots, it reads like him coaxing her to stick it out, away from home. By October 2022, things heat up on his Discord server, where Celeste joins at just 12 years old. Her account's creation date lines up from January 2021, but this is when she pops in regularly. David spilling his guts in a long message chain to the mostly underage crowd. I used to be addicted to watching gore videos. Live Leak was bookmarked. I saw a cartel execution on Reddit when I was 14. Got to the point where I don't even cringe anymore. I like writing gory psychological drama. Gore is better than adult videos. It's raw, him laughing it off like it's a phase, but resurfaced screenshots from September 2025 show the full thread, with him tying it to his music's death themes. Right around then, a bot shares a playlist titled, Celeste in David's Closet. An eerie name, like she's hidden away, and it vanishes quickly after the news breaks. Server drama escalates with users calling him out. James Buttergun posts straight up, David only adds underage girls to the server, and it's not a joke. Others back it, sharing how he'd ignore dudes but snap follow any teen girl profile. One guy tests it with a catfish account, fake 15-year-old girl, and bam, David's on it in minutes, adding back and chatting. Screenshots leak post discovery paint a pattern of selective invites, with the chat buzzing about his type. September 2023, he goes live on stream with Celeste lurking in the background, hoodie up, but visible enough that chat notices. Someone asks who she is and David snaps, "You a fed?" Then he escalates, threatening user Lamp, "He's finished. I know what he leaked." Lau is about to owe $30,000, legal team going bonkers. It's paranoid, him lawyering up over a blurry pic of him with a 13-year-old cozied up, no less. That whole year out he's sliding into inboxes of girls under 18, grooming vibes thick, per leaked logs from server alums. January 2024 TikTok post amps the creep factor. He's flaunting Hello Kitty gear. Someone comments, "Dop me," and he tags an alt account with Celeste's exact birthday replying, "Should we?" That alt's dead quiet, but the Sanrio obsession screams her David's been posting about is Hello Kitty girl, nonstop since her first missing report. June rolls in darker, a pic of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, nail gun to a woman's head, captioned, "Me after hearing about her past with other boys. I'm jealous and disgusted." Then hints at cannibalism, boiling water punishment for her birthday wish to another guy, and a video of him slicing meat with, "Me if I see her talk with other dudes." Fans called it edgy, now it's forensic. The gut punch. Leaked texts from Celeste to her friend Anissa, post second missing in April 2024. Anissa, do not text. He came back. He's crying. I'm staying. Then it turns vile. She admits bleeding from something David did, and minutes later, pressured into messing with a guy named Gus. Turns out Gus got shot dead later, per her brother Matthew's chats, who spilled to reporters that the family knew about David but cops waved it off for lack of proof. Matthew confirmed the texts, even sharing unreleased pics of Celeste tattooed with David's name. Photos surface of David in a parking lot, handing cash to Hush Folks Instagram. User Chandler OTD claims it's payoffs to keep quiet about the minor dating. The server knew they were official, with whispers she was the missing kid. Ponzo blasts. David took my little sister's friend to LA to bang in his house while she's 12. Did y'all know David likes kids? I want to tell everyone he's a creep. And Robin River. That TikTok commenter from February 2024, when Celeste first vanished, straight up warned, David's a creep messing with kids. It resurfaced big time, viral now, but ignored back then. All this, floating in plain sight, while he built an empire. Zooming in on the Discord side of things, it's like peeling back the curtain on a whole hidden world where the red flags weren't just waving, they were practically a parade. Celeste account traces back to January 2021, when she was barely 10, created right around the time David's Fortnite squad, the Chronic team, was grinding duos and building that early fanbase. That's how they crossed paths, her jumping into voice chats during late-night sessions, him spotting her username in the lobby, and before long, pulling her into his orbit with invites to exclusive creator servers. It started with innocent enough tips on building edits, sharing beats, but those logs that leaked show him deeming her solo within weeks, dropping compliments on her mature vibe, easing her away from kid stuff into his darker playlists. By the time she's 11, she's a regular, her path be shifting from cartoon avatars to something more aligned with his aesthetic, like faded Polaroids of rainy windows. Then November 11, 24 rolls around, and bam, Celeste posts in a private channel, casual as hell, "Guys, I'm pregnant by David." It's sandwiched between memes about your life, but the server goes quiet for a beat before exploding with shocked reactions. Screenshots hit the light after her discovery, And it's a bombshell that clashes hard with the autopsy report from late September 2025, which flat out says no pregnancy, no recent signs of one. Was it a scare, a lie to test reactions, or just teen drama amplified by isolation? Either way, it hung there unaddressed, David nowhere in sight, while the mods let it simmer like it was no big deal. Speaking of mods, that's where Cirxify comes in as David's Twitch manager, the guy handling the backend while David fronts the charm. Redditors caught him in real time last week, scrubbing messages from the server, like his life depended on it. Old voice clips of Celeste giggling in the background, threads about David's little secret, even that playlist link, posts vanishing mid-scroll, timestamps aligning with the news cycle its textbook cover-up, and legal eagles are buzzing he could face accessory charges if those backups surface. Lapey's already subpoenaed the logs, and with his role in the streams, complicity's on the table, one slip, and he's not just managing anymore, he's explaining. The staff tried to wash their hands of it in that joint statement from September 2025 Discord and Twitch admins, swearing they pegged her at 18 or 19 from the couple streams she popped in on, all bubbly and those oversized hoodies. No off-server contact, they claim, and the fast-moving chat buried any name drops before they could clock it. But peel deeper, and its hollow server alums are spilling now about the casual underbelly, where jokes flew like confetti. David likes M young and fresh. One pinned meme read with crying laughing emojis piling up. Or Pitaford nicknames tossed in voice, brushed off as roast sessions. Half the members knew the score, her missing posters circulating inside threads, whispers of, she's safe with him. But it stayed in the family, loyalty over logic, until the trunk news blew the lid. Now in the aftermath, a fresh server cropped up overnight. Justice for Celeste Hub. Bootstrapped by ex-members and true crime heads, it's exploding over 50k joins in days, channels for timeline drops and tip lines begging for those buried screenshots or voice memos. Share what you saw, no judgment. The pinned rules plead, with mods vetting uploads to dodge doxing. It's raw therapy meets manhunt, folks piecing alibis from timestamps, cross-referencing daps with her last pings. If the old server's a graveyard, this one's the resurrection fueling the fire for whatever the feds pull next. Shifting gears to the X and TikTok frenzy, it's where the accusations flew fast and furious, turning David's feed from fanboy hype to a digital dumpster fire that no amount of PR could douse. Back in 2021, when he was still grinding Fortnite squads, whispers started bubbling about grooming him, scouting lobbies for young voices, zeroing in on girls, like Celeste with that smooth, "Hey, join my creator server" line. But it wasn't open to everyone. Leaked invites from old players show he'd vet profiles hard, only greenlighting underage accounts, framing it as building the next gen, while sliding into DMs with personal beats and your different compliments. By mid-year, she's in, and the pattern's set, isolated chats, away from her squad, easing her into his world one voice note at a time. Ponzo's the one who lit the fuse early, dropping bombs in a now deleted thread around April 2024. David took my little sister's friend to LA to bang in his house while she's 12. Did y'all know David likes kids? I want to tell everyone about how David is a creep. It got buried under bots and blocks back then, but resurfaced in the wake of the trunk news, with Ponzo going live on a burner to swear it's gospel his sis's buddy vanishing for trips. That left her changed. Phone blowing up with David's tracks. No cops then, family too starstruck, but it's the kind of first-hand gut punch that sticks. Robin River beat the rush, though February 2024, right as Celeste's first missing alert hits, she stitches a TikTok rant onto one of his Hello Kitty posts. Y'all sleeping on this? David's out here collecting kids like Pokemon. Celeste's 13 and ghosted wake up. It scraped 50,000 views before algorithm shadow banned it, dismissed as hater bait, but now it's prophetic, clipped and requoted everywhere. Her handle flooded with tips from girls who dodged the same invite. Even his camp's scrambling. Josh Marshall, the manager repping Mautomt on TikTok September 29, 2025, face all pinched and serious. Look, I had zero clue about any of this. Celeste, never crossed paths. Don't drag me into rumors, focus on facts. It's polished, but the comments roast him for ignoring server flags, with alums claiming he moderated the jokes himself. Wilder still, a fake FBI wanted poster circulated midweek, slapping David's bodyguard Mark Morales aka Marky next door with accessory to murder, $25,000 reward and all. Marky clapped back on the stream laughing it off. Bro, that's not me, says the guy's black, and my alias is Big Steaks and Tubs. Y'all wild. Proven bogus by watermark checks, but it snowballed, hitting 2 mil impressions, showing how paranoia gripped the fandom overnight. Chandler OTD fueled the fire with an Instagram dump. Grainy parking lot shots of David slipping cash to a teen cluster, captioned, payoffs to zip it on the age thing. Echoed on Reddit by Alpha Tango Cheesecake. My sis in 9th grade said he was dating an 8th grader, trips to LA, even bribed Celeste's crew to stay shot him. She's been gone a month, shit's off. Those pics. Timestamp June 2024. Faces blurred but vibes unmistakable. Exile's funeral, a close pal of Celeste's, broke her silence in a voice note chain. Last call with her, she's wasted. Spam dialing David, slurring about their matching ink, he's got shush on his finger. She's etched his full name in red cursive. 2 days later, proof her accounts were nuked. But she forwarded Instagram screenshots from December 2024. Celeste mid-rant, he's the only one who gets me? Timestamps lining up with his tour breaks, hearts and knife emojis sealing the desperation. That Twitch clip from summer 2024 seals the unease. Celeste's perched behind him, hoodie swallowing her frame, oversized glasses hiding eyes that dart nervous. Chat probes and David's all grins. The media trained you, huh? She giggles, but he cuts in sharp when kids slips out, delete everything. Everything goes. The stream cuts abruptly, leaving that echo of control hanging, like he knew eyes were too close. It's all stacking now, pixels to proof, forcing everyone to confront the boy behind the beats. At the heart of it all, though, was this slow burn grooming that started when Celeste was just 10 or 11, slipping into David's Fortnite lobbies like so many kids do late nights building forts, trash-talking squads, that innocent grind turning into something way heavier. He'd spot her in the voice chat, her mic popping with that kid energy laugh, and next thing, he's pinging her for private duos, dropping tips on edits while layering in compliments that felt too grown up. You get it, you're not like the others. From there, it's a seamless slide to Discord invites to his inner circle server where the rules were unspoken but clear. Guys got the cold shoulder, but any underage profile with a cute pop. Instant ad, DMs flowing with shared playlists and what's keeping you up? Vibes. It wasn't random. Old squad mates spilled that he had a radar for it, prioritizing those fresh accounts, turning game nights into grooming sessions that isolated her from her own crew. By 12, she's modding channels, her pings lighting up his notifications, while he feeds her the narrative, you're special. We're meant for this, forget the noise back home. And the flaunting. God, that was the boldest part of him, parading the whole mess like a trophy on those streams, with her as the missing girl propped in frame like it was no big deal. Picture mid-2024, tour prep heating up, and he's going live from his setup, her silhouette hovering behind the monitor, all casual waves to chat while he's queuing up beats. Fans clocked the tension, the way she'd freeze when mentions of girlfriend dropped, but he'd spin it with a wink, she's my muse. Y'all jealous. It was ego on blast, streaming from LA spots she'd visit. Her absence from school reports hanging unspoken in the air. No mass nullibus, just raw display, like he got off on the risk, the chat's mix of heart emojis and, who's that? Probes feeding his high. It screamed control, him owning the narrative while the world scrolled past the red flags. Tie that to his tweets from around 2022-23 where he's unloading on nihilism like it's gospel, life's a scam. Nothing matters but the void, and ditching religion as a money scheme. Calling out his folks' faith background as fake. It slots right into gore rabbit hole he dove down young, bookmarking execution clips till they didn't faze him anymore. No wonder the aggression laced his posts. It was the soundtrack to his spiral, where love twisted into possession, and escape meant offing the ties. That anti-everything edge, it fueled the isolation game, making her his one real thing in a meaningless world. Then the long game reveals, in interviews that spring of 2025, he's casual about bailing to some remote island. In about 4 years. Once the cash stacks exact timeline for Celeste hitting 18th. But the implication hung heavy, her as the forever tag-along, cut off from everything, his delusion of paradise. It wasn't a whim, it was plotted. Those off-grid dreams whispered in DMs to keep her hooked, promising freedom from the circumstances, pulling her back. Online slits latched onto the rest. Those Reddit deep dives chaining his old shares, like the cannibalism teases, vague nods to devouring the past, straight to the dismembered horror of her end. Threads exploded with timelines, a June 2024 clip of him carving up stakes eyes deadpan since to her vanishing spike. This ain't art, it's a manual. One top post reads, upvotes in the thousands. Folks screenshotting every blade flash. It's the community's autopsy on his feed, turning memes into motives, demanding answers while the silence from his camp grows louder. The web's got no mercy now, every post a noose tightening. The evening of September 8, 2025, kicks off like any other slow burn in LA's underbelly. A 2023 Tesla with Texas plates sitting forgotten in an impound yard on the 1000 block of North Mansfield Avenue, that metallic tang of regret hanging heavy in the September heat. Workers had clocked the stench days earlier, something foul seeping from the sealed-up front compartment, the kind that turns heads and calls and badges. 3 full days it stewed there before anyone cracked it open. The cops gloved up and peered into the frunk like they were staring down a bad dream. What they pulled out was the heartbreaking confirmation of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's fate. The 14-year-old, who'd vanished from Lake Elsinore 17 months prior, her posters still peeling on light poles back home. Signs of prolonged hardship screamed from every detail. She dropped from 130 pounds to a frail 71, her frame whittled down by months of what looked like deliberate neglect. Wavy black hair matted and her last outfit a simple tube top and leggings clinging like a ghost of better days. That Tesla. Straight up registered to David Anthony Burke, no missing vehicle report filed, no frantic calls to the DMV. It'd been parked curbside on Bluebird Avenue for over 3 weeks, some say pushing a month right in the valley haze, just a stone's throw, maybe 100 yards max, from the spot where David used to crash in his old LA rental. Cops touted after parking tickets piled up, but no one connected the dots till that odor punched through the summer swelter, baking inside the car's insulated shell like a cruel oven. Bluebird's quiet, the kind of street where neighbors mind their lawns, but piecing it now, it's too close for comfort. His footsteps could have echoed back to that very curb during late-night walks or quick errands. Word spread fast after the ID came through, dental records, those telltale curls, the whole tragic match. And the ink. That's the quiet gut punch that sealed the whispers into shouts. David's got this, shush, tattoo etched on his finger a single word for silence, the hush of secrets kept. Celeste. Hers was bolder, his full name scrawled in crimson red across her skin, like a brand she chose in a haze of what she thought was love. Photos leaked from family albums show it fresh, the letters curling just so, a mismatched vow where his screamed, "Keep quiet," and hers yelled forever. Lay P moved quickly on the ripple, search warrants hit David's current spot, that swanky Hollywood Hills pad renting for 20 grand a month, tech swarming for prints, fibers, anything that might timeline her last breaths. He's playing it cool, they say fully cooperative, answering questions without a lawyer's shadow at first, no cuffs yet, no official suspect tag dangling. But the air's thick with it. His tour dates evaporating overnight, venues ghosting like they smelled the smoke. That impound lot of detail sticks hardest, 3 days of the trapped heat, the metal box turning evidence into a silent scream, while he was out under stage lights, mic in hand, crooning tracks that suddenly felt too on the nose. It's the kind of irony that turns your stomach's fame's glow clashing with the rot underneath, leaving everyone wondering how long the quiet held before it all spilled out. Viewer discretion. Still advised, this one's raw, the kind that lingers like that LA fog. But here's where the rubber really meets the road in this mess. The death certificate dropping like a quiet bomb on September 29, 2025, slicing through the online frenzy with cold, hard facts that nobody saw coming. You know those wild rumors swirling since the trunk news broke. The ones painting David as some jealous dad-to-be, offing her over a baby bump. Yeah, total smoke. The official doc from LA County Medical Examiner flat out states Celeste wasn't pregnant at the time of her passing, and hadn't been in the entire year leading up. No fatal tissue, no recent markers, nothing to back the tabloid fever dream that had half the internet in a tizzy. It's a gut check for the sloths, who'd built whole theories on leaked Discord whispers, forcing a reset on the motive board. Relatives like her brother Matthew exhaled publicly on IG stories that night. Finally some truth amid the noise. But it left more questions than it answered. Like why the hell did those pregnancy posts even surface if it was all hot air? The real kicker though, manner and cause of death stamped, deferred. Stuck in limbo, pending those toxicology sweeps that could take weeks, maybe months to untangle. We're talking blood work, tissue samples, the full chem panel hunting for everything from street stuff to prescription slips that might explain the fade out. LAPD's Captain Scott Williams laid it out in a midday briefing. It's a death investigation, not a slam dunk homicide at this stage. No blunt force tells, no obvious stab wounds jumping out from the prelims. Just a puzzle waiting in the labs to slot the pieces. Sources close to the probe whisper it's more to concealment than outright murder. Like someone stashed her away to buy time, letting nature's clock tick in that sealed up frunk. The heat, the isolation it all conspired to muffle the story, turning evidence into echoes. Timeline-wise, forensics peg her exit to Lagos 2025 may be the 20th, give or take a few days, putting a solid 2 to 3 weeks of decomposition before the impound crew caught wind of the smell on the 5th. That's the valley scorch doing its dirty work. Temps pushing 90s, that front compartment acting like a slow roast chamber, breaking down tissues and fluids into the slurry state that complicated the initial sweep. Coroner's office noted advanced breakdown on the extremities, fluids leached out, making it a nightmare for quick IDs beyond the dental match and that signature ink. No signs of recent violence screaming from the bones, but the weight dropped from a healthy 130 at her last check-in to barely scraping 71 hunts at a drawn-out decline, months of skimped meals and stress carving her down before the end snapped. It's the waiting game's cruel twist now. Tox results could flip the script to overdose, foul play, or something self-inflicted under pressure, shifting the spotlight from killer to keeper. David's camp's mum, but insiders say he's sweating the subpoena for his phone logs, those late summer pings that might map her final hours. Families like Mercedes Martinez, Celeste's mom, are left in the lurch, vigils flickering with "justice delayed" signs under LA streetlights. The certificate's a start, debunking the baby angle and dialing back the rage bait. But it's no closure, just a pause button on the horror, letting the labs hold the mic. In a case this tangled, every deferred line feels like a held breath, and man, we're all kinda holding it too. But if the certificate slammed doors on some theories, the Tesla's own paper trail cracked a few more wide open, painting this timeline that's equal parts mundane parking beef and straight-up sister stall tactic. Picture it August 27, 2025, a meter-maid slaps the first citation on that sleek 2023 Model X, parked crooked on a leafy Hollywood Hills side street, just blocks from David's cushy rental. The one with the infinity pool view he bragged about in vlogs. It's a routine slap for blocking a hydrant, or some driveway gripe, but neighbors later told reporters they remembered the thing sitting there like a bad omen, windows tinted dark, no plates screaming, seal-boned, till the tags got scanned. David, he's knee-deep in tour rehearsals by then, jetting between studios, posting stories of soundchecks that scream, untouchable, while his ride gathers dust and tickets like bad karma. Fast forward to September 3 and Bam's second hit, this time for blowing past the city's 72-hour no-loiter rule. Cops chalk it up to abandoned vehicle. The kind of low-stakes violation that racks up fees but doesn't raise alarms yet. That's 6 days after the first tag, the car baking under that relentless valley sun, turning Bluebird Avenue into a forgotten corner of his empire. By the 5th, it's game over towed to the Mansfield impound lot, hooked and hauled like yesterday's trash, racking up storage charges that David's team probably ignored in the chaos of show prep. 11 days minimum from that initial ticket to the grim reveal on the 8th, plenty of time for whatever went down inside to fester, the sealed frunk acting like a time capsule no one wanted to crack. Forensics leaned hard on that lag to nail the window, her fade-out pegged to late August, maybe the 20s, giving 2+ weeks for the elements to warp things in that confined space. The heat wave that month. Mid-90s daily, trapping moisture and rot in a metal vault, complicating the text sweep but backing the concealment over confrontation angle. No rush hour panic dump, this was deliberate neglect, letting the clock erase traces while he played house on stage. And here's the tech twist that's got investigating Tesla's app pings owners relentlessly. If the frunk hangs open past 10-minute safety net for forgotten grocery runs, or whatever, but a potential smoking gun here. David's phone logs, supponed last week, could light up with those alerts, frunk ajar close now. Timestamps syncing to his tour gaps, maybe a late-night LA stopover where he popped the lid for one last deposit. Owners' forums are full of gripes about false alarms on hot days, but in this script, it's circumstantial gold proof he knew the thing was compromised, yet let it sit, notifications stacking like unread regrets. His camp's dodging questions, but if those pings tie to his location data, it's the thread that unravels the cooperating citizen act. Meanwhile, the impound fees. Over $500 by discovery, petty cash for a millionaire. But symbolic as hell as escape pod turned into an evidence locker. It's the slow grind of bureaucracy clashing with buried secrets, leaving us all staring at that curb like it holds the why. Dawn of September 17, 2025, an LAPD rolls up to that glossy Hollywood Hills perch think multi-million-dollar spread tucked into the canyons. The kind renting out at $20,000 a month for views that scream, made it. David's been crashing there, the lease in his name, all sleek lines and infinity edges, but by midday, yellow tapes fluttering like bad omens. Warrants in hand, techs swarm the place, 2-story modern box with floor-to-ceiling glass, the works pool out back, garage big enough for his Tesla fleet. They're not subtle, neighbors peek from blinds as vans unload, gloved hands hauling out laptops, hard drives, the digital guts of his setup. Bags zip shut on swabs, potential DNA traces, latent prints on doorknobs and counters, server racks yanked for data dives. Whispers from the perimeter say they zeroed in on the bedroom and bath, luminol kits glowing faint under blacklights for any overlooked streaks, the air thick with that sterile tang of evidence collection. It's thorough hours ticking by till dusk, every corner cataloged like a crime scene waiting to happen. By the next morning, word leaks, David and his manager, that slick Josh Marshall from Mogul Vision, bolt the lease like it's toxic. Signed in spring, good through year's end, but they trigger the early out clause fancy term for, we're out, eat the penalty. Movers show up unannounced, trucks idling as boxes fly. Turntables, lyric notebooks, that wall of awards from Fortnite drops and arcane sinks. Neighbors spot him in sweats, directing from the driveway face all stone, no waves or small talk. He's gone by evening, crashing at some Airbnb up the coast or crashing period who knows. The landlord's fuming on local news. Broke the contract, left it spotless but soulless. Fees stacking into 5 figures. It's flighty sure, but his team's spinning it as privacy needs amid scrutiny. Like relocating's just good sense when badges knock. Captain Scott M. Williams steps to the mics that afternoon, LAPD badge gleaming under the flashbulbs. No named suspects, no persons of interest at this hour. Mr. Burke's cooperative interviews, access to devices, the works. It's measured that cops speak for. We're building, not burning bridges. But the pivot's clear focus is sharpening on concealment, not the hot-blooded kill. Hiding what happened. That's the lane we're driving. He adds, eyes steady, dodging the homicide hook. David's out of state, tour buses idling in Maryland. But promoters pull the plug that night, full US legs scrapped, refunds rolling, venues citing unforeseen circumstances. In emails that scream liability dodge. Fans flood his mentions with heartbreak emojis. But the void's deafening. Stages gone dark like the lights in that empty Hills house. Dig deeper, and the haul from the raid's a beast. Those computers could cough up deleted chats, geotags pinning her last hours to that very zip code. Prints and traces. They whisper proximity, the kind that ties hands to handles. Swabs for fluids or residues. Pending lab dance, but strong for cover-up, stashing away to let time blur the lines. Toxicology's the Y card still. That deferred stamp hanging like a sword could tilt to accidental OD. Her dipping into whatever pills or powders stress chased, or worse, a cornered choice under his thumb. No clear-cut violence in the prelims, shifting eyes from murder one to something grayer, like manslaughter by neglect. And that parking spot, Bluebird Ave, spitting distance from the rental's back gate suggests it went down close. No midnight haul across town, just a quick slip into the frunk under those same canyon stars. Evidence piles heavy on the hide, but why? That's the ghost in the machine, waiting for the labs to whisper back. For now, the house stands empty, echoes of bass drops fading, a monument to what fame couldn't outrun. As the probe digs deeper, it's the voices from the fringes of the family, old gaming buds, fleeting exes, and server gatekeepers that start filling in the cracks, turning whispers into a chorus that's hard to ignore. Take Matthew Hernandez, Celeste's big brother, who broke his silence in a raw NBCLA sit-down on September 25, 2025, eyes red-rimmed but voice steady. She told me everything, he said, clutching a faded movie stub from that April 2024 night, the last time she was seen. Slipping out for what she called a casual flick with David, Matthew pieced it quick, her gushing about this online guy who'd get her the hushed plans for a future hookup once she hit legal status. He marched to the station that week, spilling the DM trails and server pings. But the desk sergeant shrugged, no hard link, kid's a runaway type. Cops logged it, but without a smoking gun, it gathered dust. Matthew's got the scars from that fumble. Now he's dropping unreleased snaps of Celeste from happier days, her grinning at a Sanrio hall, curls wild, timestamp December 2023, plus those gut-wrenching texts confirming the Gus mess. She got pressured into it. He choked out, verifying the Anisar exchanges where Celeste vents about the fallout, ending with Gus's name. Turns out the guy's long gone, gunned down in a drive-by months back. Per coroner files, Matthew chased down himself. David waited till 18 to marry. That's what she bought. He added, shaking his head. I should have dragged her home sooner. Echoing that regret are the Fortnite vets from the Chronic and Limit Crews, guys who knew David pre-fame, back when he was just Dave. Clipping montages in 2021. One, going by, Pistol and Old Clips. Spilled on a podcast drop September 2080. One met her through squads of tiny voices in the lobby, all hype on builds. David latched on, started sending group chat dumps, cartel beheadings, jump scare edits. The gross stuff he'd hoard from Reddit. Lauder turned sour when Celeste would pipe up post-send. Yeah, that happened. Then crack a joke to deflect. Like, Wes, I'm the survivor now. They chalked it to her being edgy. But Pistol admits the vibe soared. David's too nice, always the helper with BandLab tips, but underneath, total weirdo, zoning out mid-game with that 1,000-yard stare, muttering about keeping what's yours. Then there's the ex from his brief normal phase, her 16 to his 18, a quick summer fling in 2023 that fizzled fast. She surfaced anonymously on a fan forum September 27, posting a throwaway. Saw him with this young girl at a LA spot, all whispers and handsy. Thought she was a cousin or something, didn't clock the age gap till now. No names, no drama, just that nagging what if that keeps her up, regretting the blind eye. Celeste's ride or die, Exile's funeral, went fuller throttle in a Discord voice leak from September 29. She was hammered that night. December 2024, blowing up his phone, voice loring, come get me. It's us forever. Mid-sob about the tattoos matching his shush with her scripted David, in faded red. 2 days later, accounts wiped clean, like a digital ghosting. But Exiles held onto the receipts, Instagram threads from that month, Celeste firing off, miss you under the lights. With heart knives, his replies all cryptic flames. She was trapped. Exiles vented. And we all pretended it was cute. Even the Discord overlords tried the clean break staff manifesto September 20, swearing they bought the 18 act from her stream cameos, all poised and chatty in the glow. No private lines, no red flags in real time. They claimed. But by week's end, the whole team's out. We don't back this. Prayers for her fam. It's damage control at best, the server a husk now, but their exit wave says it all. Loyalty's got limits when the truth trunks out. These stories. They're the human glue, binding the pixels to pain, pushing the case from rumor to reckoning. But as the family stories stack up, It's Mercedes Martinez, Celeste's mom, the one holding the home front together through all those frantic missing alerts, who steps into the spotlight with a quiet fury that's breaking hearts across the feeds. In a TMZ sit-down that aired September 26, 2025, she's all steel under the strain, voice cracking just once. Yeah, she had a boyfriend named David. That's what she called him, her everything. Mercedes lays it bare, no sugarcoating the late-night confessions. The way Celeste would sneak scrolls on her phone, glowing about this online spark that turned into secret meetups. But the real clincher, the tattoo match, the one etched like a pack gone wrong. David's finger, shh. A zipped lip reminder to stay silent. Mirroring the red ink, David, scrawled on Celeste's hand, fresh enough in family pics to spot the healing scab. She thought it was romantic. Mercedes sighs, flipping through old snaps on her kitchen table. The kind where her girl's beaming in Sanrio tees, oblivious to the trap. It's the mom voice we all know, equal parts grief and grit, vowing to the camera. He doesn't get to hide behind songs anymore. We want answers, real ones. That vow turned into flames just days later, September 21, pulling the whole Lake Elsinore crew out for a candlelight vigil under the Valley Stars, hundreds strong, flickering flames spelling justice for Celeste. On the high school lawn, the air thick with marigolds and tear-streaked cheeks. KTLA caught it live. Families from the block, kids clutching posters of her gap-toothed grin, chanting, "No more silence." As Mercedes lit the first wick, her arm linked with aunts and cousins who'd scarred those April trails a year back. Signs bob missing no more, answers now. Demanding LAP push past the cooperating spin, with locals spilling stories of ignored tips, the community's quiet complicity in letting a star's glow blind them. It wrapped with a grew hup that went viral, raw sobs echoing off the hills, a far cry from the holiday lights that used to deck those streets. She was our spark. One neighbor choked to ABC7. And they dimmed it. We won't let her fade. Even the Nest Cam neighbors are haunted by their piece of the puzzle, that September 8, 2024 clip, one day post her 14th candles, where Celeste's out front, yelling slurs at some prankster kid, all fire and frustration in her hoodie. The family next door, the ones whose ring caught it, swung by the next morning with apologies and towels knocking soft. We saw her, and thought she was safe. But Celeste's dad, he barely blinked, mumbling, "She's around." Through the screen door, no shock in his shrug. It leaked wide on Ashley Banfield's feed September 29, folks dissecting his flat effect like a tell. Did he know the dips and dodges, the visits to LA that weren't vacations? That non-reaction's a scar now, fueling whispers of family fractures, the kind where love twists into looking away. On the flip, the friend circles dropping dimes too, like that Reddit burner Alpha Tango Cheesecake, who lit up a now pinned thread September 22 with the 9th grade tea. David was deep in with an 8th grader. My sis watched him scoop her for Ella Hangs, all whispers and hotel keys, then payoffs to her squad so they'd zip it on the page. Upvotes hit 15K overnight, with Cheesecake swearing on non-alts. Celeste's crew got envelopes, 20s fat, to play dumb when she ghosted class. It's the suburban undercurrent, sleepovers turning sour, girls trading glances over lockers, while he jets in for shows. Echoes from Chandler OTD's Insta dumps back its grainy lots, cash flashes turning playground gossip into prosecutable patterns. These aren't randos. They're the threads from her world, weaving the why behind the what, demanding the spotlight swing from stages to streets. In the end, it's their chorus moms and mates that's the loudest, turning vigil flames into a fire that won't quit. To trace how this whole nightmare unspooled, you gotta rewind to the roots. David Anthony Burke, born 2005, growing up in a picture-perfect solid, dad's a big-shot litigation guy with global firm ties, faith strong, money no issue. But homeschooling meant zero oversight on the screens, and by 2018, he's deep in Fortnite, cranking edits and montages that pop off on YouTube. Music sneaks in via the game's soundtracks. Those copyright flags kill his uploads, so over 3 years of tweaks, he pivots. Why not make his own? Inspired by Sextentation's raw edge and Tyler's weird flows, he dives into BandLab, turning a gamer kid into an indie whisperer. Cut to December 2021, Runaway drops, his debut single, all pleas for someone to crash with him, sadness curdling into jealousy-fueled rage. That's the year it sparks. Celeste, just 10, hops into Fortnite lobbies via mutual squad, her mic crackling with kid giggles during builds. David's on it quick, pinging her for duos, then sliding the Discord invite. Join the crew, share your edits. By year's end, she's on his server. An account fresh from January, voice chats stretching late, him dropping, "You're mature for your age," lines that blur the lines fast. 22 cranks the heat. Tweets get cryptic that reply to 6K4TE about pushing through. Family polls, archived now as him nudging her away from mom and sis. October, Celeste joins the server proper at 12, right as David spilling on his gore kicks in long threads. Then September 7, her birthday, romantic homicide video lands him blindfolded in candlelight, looming over a lifeless figure, evidence stuffed in a suitcase. Lyrics seal it, killing what you love. It catapults him, but the date, no accident. 2023 is a blur of bold. He owns the gore addiction publicly. Lively cartel clips don't faze me anymore. Gore beats porn. Streams flaunt her in the background. Hoodie shadows. Him snapping fed. At questioners threatening lawsuits over leaks. September 7 again. Rahab enemy drops his avatar carving up a girl. Leak track Celeste. Slips out naming her. Tattoo confessions. Her opening up only. Hi. February 2024 first vanish from Lake Elsinore classes. Posters everywhere. Family posts frantic but by the 20th vague. Prayers answered. Updates she's home. Though whispers say it was a quick back before bolting again. April 50 round 2. Last seen in Hello Kitty sandals. No trace. June 2024 posts turn venomous jealous rants. Bateman nail gun memes. Meat slicing clips over or talking to dudes. February 2025 one more dance. Video of him trunked and buried in woods. Ghost lyrics haunting. September 8 2025 Discovery rocks LA. Her end confirmed in his towed Tesla. And David's. Onstage that night. Belting her anthems. Theatrics dripping irony. From Fortnite kid to these 4 years of hints. Now a timeline of tragedy. Wild how the beats mask the breaks. To really wrap your head around how this spiraled from Fortnite lobbies to tragedy, you need the full timeline of those quiet seeds planted in 2021 blooming into the horror of 25. It's all laid out in that viral YouTube deep dive from NewsNation's Banfield crew, dropped just 6 days back, clocking every ping and post like a forensic clock. Starts simple. January 2021, Celeste fires up her Discord at 10 years old, a fresh account amid the pandemic Zoomer wave, dipping into Fortnite worlds for escape. She's all pixels and play, no clue it's the gateway. By December David's Runaway hits YouTube as first track, raw pleas for runaway love masking the obsession blueprint. That's when paths cross, her in his chronic squad lobbies, him spotting the spark gaming cool voice join the server. It's the hook gaming glue turning to private chats. October 2022, she logs into his Discord proper, 12 now, amid the gore confessions he's dumping in threads. Romantic homicide, video drops September 7 her birthday candles and suitcases foreshadowing the end. 2023 blurs into leaks. Rahab, anime on her next birthday, September 7 blades flashing, the Celeste track slips out, naming her secrets. Streams tease her shadow, threats fly at doubters. Early 2024 fractures. February 19 first missing from Lake Ali blasts alerts but by the 20th fuzzy, found safe, post hint she's dipped back, maybe a coerced return before vanishing again. April 5, second dip, last ping in Hello Kitty kicks, posters everywhere. September 8 2024. That Nest cam catches her alive, raging at neighbors' 14th birthday screams and slurs from the porch, hoodie fierce, rewriting the Gone Forever script. Family shrugs it off, no report, but it leaks huge on TMZ September 29, proving she was tied home months after missing. November 2024. Discord post hits, pregnant by David, a bomb in a side channel, reactions frozen before mod scrub. December. Exile's funerals Insta log shows Celeste firing desperate hearts his way. Us against it all. Timestamp sensing his tour breaks last digital breath before silence. Late August 2025. Forensics nails her ebs around the 20th 25th, a quiet unravel in his orbit. August 27. First parking ticket slaps the Tesla on Hollywood Hills curbs, blocks from his rental. September 3. Second tag for the 72-hour linger. 5th, towed to impound fees ticking. September 8. They find heartbreak in the frunk, hin on stage that night, crooning ghosts. 17th. Raid on the Hills pad drives hauled. 19th. Collabs like Caliuchas yanked from streams. 29th. TMZ airs the Nest clip, Josh Marshall denies all on TikTok. Today 30th. Fresh YouTube body language breakdown Decem 4 stream, tense shoulders screaming control. This arc, it's grooming's long shadow from 2021 lobbies to 25's fade, her dips in 24 like failed escapes, his tour a smokescreen for the stall. Banfield's vid nails it, 4 years of breadcrumbs, fame as the perfect veil. From kid gamer to this chilling how the dates align, begging the question. Who else saw the clock ticking, wrapping this nightmare up? Folks man, it's a gut wrencher that started with a kid's Fortnite lobby and ended in an LA impound lot, but the evidence? It's a mountain from the shadows to the stains. Those indirect hits are brutal. David's tracks foreshadowing like a twisted diary lyrics on ghosts and graves timed to her birthday, grooming trails from 10-year-old discgroups to obsessive DMs, social posts flaunting jealousy with meat cleavers and Bateman vibes. Then the hard stuff slams in, her frail frame in that Tesla frunk, starved down 59 pounds, the parking tickets pinning her last weeks to his Hills doorstep, raid bags full of drives and swabs from his $20,000 pad. Its concealment screaming louder than murder so far. As of today, September 30, the talks reports still pending could flip to OD or something self-done under pressure, not the full homicide slam. Communities raging, Vidjuic Elsinore to viral threads demanding cuffs, but David's walking free, cooperating, without a charge. No justice yet, just echoes, bigger picture. This screams wake up lockdown online kid spaces, hold celebs to real accountability, and yeah, time for a real crackdown on those gore, true crime pits that twist minds young. Celeste deserved better hell, all of them do. Rest easy kid, we're yelling louder now. As we hit October 2025, the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case continues to unravel like a slow-motion horror show, with fresh ripples from the ongoing probe keeping the internet ablaze. In the days since our last deep dive, toxicology reports finally dropped on October 2nd, confirming what many feared: traces of controlled substances. No defensive wounds, no signs of struggle, just a tragic fade-out from chronic neglect and possible coercion. David's team issued a terse statement via Mogul Vision. One mourns Celeste and cooperate fully, but insiders whisper his cooperation now includes polygraph sessions and seized tour footage from August. Online, the Justice for Celeste hub Discord has ballooned to 150K members, crowdsourcing timelines and petitioning for grooming charges under California's Romeo and Juliet laws loom full scrutiny. A leaked affidavit from Celeste's aunt claims David funneled cash through apps to keep her visits quiet, tying back to those parking lot payoffs. Chandler OTD flag. Meanwhile, David's streams have tanked, Spotify playlist purged, Fortnite collabs scrubbed amid backlash. Promoters are suing for breach, and as Hill's pad relisted at a loss, ghosts of the raid lingering in every empty room. It's the empire crumbling, one deleted tweet at a time, as fans flip from devotion to disgust. But beyond the headlines and the heartbreak, this case screams lessons we can't ignore, hard-won truths about safeguarding kids in a digital Wild West where predators lurk behind screens and streams. First off, it's a brutal reminder that online grooming isn't some abstract threat, it's insidious, starting with innocent lobbies in games like Fortnite escalating to isolated servers where boundaries blur. David allegedly hooked Celeste at 10, feeding her compliments and maturity bait, pulling her from family chats into his orbit. Parents, educators, tech giants, we all need to step up. Mandate age verification on platforms like Discord and TikTok with AI flagging unusual patterns, adults deeming minors, gore shares normalizing violence. Schools should integrate digital literacy curriculums early, teaching kids to spot red flags like "you're different," lines, or pressure to keep secrets. And law enforcement. The fumbles here, dismissed tips from Matthew, ignored missing reports, highlight the need for specialized units trained in cyber exploitation with faster subpoenas for server logs. Remember those jokes? In David's community, communities must enforce zero-tolerance policies, empowering mods to report suspicions without fear of lawsuits. Broader still, curb the gore pipeline. Platforms like Reddit and LiveLeak should restrict access for under 18s, as David's admitted addiction twisted love into possession. True crime obsession. It's entertainment until it inspires emulation, push for content warnings and age gates on podcasts and docs. Finally, hold celebs accountable, no more passes for lyrics romanticizing homicide. Fans, demand better, boycott until reforms. This isn't just about one case, it's a blueprint to protect the next Celeste, turning tragedy into tighter nets that catch creeps before they strike. In the quiet aftermath, though, let's pause to honor Celeste, not as a victim in some viral thread, but as the vibrant kid she was, full of spark and stolen dreams. Born September 7, 2010, in Lake Elsinore's sun-soaked valleys, she was the girl with the infectious laugh, obsessed with Hello Kitty plushies and Sanrio stickers that dotted her notebooks. Family albums paint her as the family glue, baking tamales with Mom Mercedes on lazy Sundays, trading Fortnite tips with brother Matthew, her wavy black curls bouncing as she raced bikes with neighborhood pals. At 11, she dreamed big, maybe a streamer, or an artist like the ones she idolized online. But that light dimmed under shadows we now know too well: isolation, manipulation, the weight of secrets etched in red ink on her skin. Vigils keep her memory alive. The one on October 3rd in her hometown drew thousands, marigold petals scattered under a blood moon sky, echoing the motifs in David's twisted tracks. Candles spelled her name, speakers shared stories, how she'd light up rooms with silly dances, or defend friends with fierce loyalty, even in that heated Nest Cam rant. She deserved the world, Mercedes said in a tearful IG live, clutching a faded tube top like the one found with her. Friends like Exile's funeral and Anissa post tributes, montages of her giggles in voice chats, handwritten notes vowing, "Well, fight for you." Online, Faye Celeste forever trends with art portraits of her smiling amid stars, symbolizing the ghost she refused to become. Rest easy, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, your story isn't over. It's a rally cry, ensuring no more kids fade in the frunks of forgotten cars. We're listening now, yelling louder, building a safer world in your name. Viewer discretion still advised. This pain lingers, but so does the push for change.